It's day one of a bootcamp series using Fossapup64 Puppy Linux. So when you boot up a Fossapup64, it looks something like this. What I've done is to go ahead and connect to my Wi-Fi and also configured a simple screen recorder so I can record YouTube video. And then I rebooted with a save file, and this is what you will see when you click on the terminal. This is urxvt terminal, and it looks something like this. We will try to modify appearance of urxvt as follows. So what you can do is main urxvt modification file is under root as seen here, and we'll go Control H, and you'll see hidden files, and hidden file that mainly configures urxvt is .xdefaults. And you just did open this in a Genie editor like this, and this is what you will see. On default setting, there is a significant problem in that my preference of urxvt is to always open in the right lower quadrant, because I tend to have a rocks filer open up here, and there's a lot of activity, and for me, I find if I open the urxvt down here, it's most useful as far as way I use the Puppy Linux Fossapup64. Be a good idea to go ahead and make a backup copy of .xdefaults as a backup, although you can always get the original Fossapup .xdefaults from the Fossapup SFX. We'll just go ahead and go through the steps of making a backup file of xdefaults. So we can go ahead and start the urxvt and copy. We are in the root directory, so defaults tab x defaults, and we'll go ahead and say original org. So now we have a backup. Next thing I would like to do is to go ahead and open up a save file of my daily Fossapup64 save folder that I use on a daily basis to get a copy of the my default xdefaults over to this, to replace this. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go to where I have the save files, 64 boot 64, and this is Fossapup64 save, and then we'll go ahead and open it up. There's a root directory, and similarly we'll use Control H to open up the hidden files, and we will initially just open up the xdefaults in Genie. So we'll just drag it over here, and this is the my configuration of urxvt. So what is different is that from the default Fossapup, where the urxvt looks something like this. My default X defaults places it on the different place on the screen, and also it changes the several other things that it makes it that rather than cursor underline, it makes it a cursor block, and then it also makes it a larger pixel size, and it also uses Ubuntu font. Therefore, we need to install the Ubuntu font. And then it also allows a copying and paste function with a Control-Shift-V. And it also allows the font to be bigger and smaller with the control up and down. So these are very beneficial, I find. So what we'll do is we'll just get a Control-A to copy everything, and then get a copy, and then we'll replace it to the default X default settings. So we'll go ahead and get Control-A and Control-V, and then we'll save. Before we do anything else at this point, we need to install the Ubuntu font. So we'll go ahead and open up the Puppy Package Manager. I've already updated the database, and then we'll go ahead and type in Ubuntu font, and then enter. And this is the TTF Ubuntu font family is the file we need, and we'll go ahead and install it. So it should take a couple of seconds, and it's installed. To activate the changes of X defaults, what we need to do is it's actually already done it. So you can tell that it's when I opened it, it places it on the right lower quadrant, which is what we prefer. And let me do it again. So without any intervention, it places on the right lower quadrant. So I'll put up my configuration file so you can go ahead and take a look. So we'll just go ahead and take a look at it again here. Now, after we made a copy or overwrite the default X defaults, what you can see is that there is a 86 geometry function will place this in a right lower quadrant with the numbers that I have here. So, and then you can see the cursor has changed to a block, blinking block, and you notice the scroll bar usually here right or left. I've eliminated the scroll bar, and I generally use a shift page up and shift page down if you need to see something that's really long. Or you can just get Alt F10. We'll go ahead and maximize, and Alt toggle the maximize state. Main thing that we want to try to get rid of is this title bar at this point. That can be done through the .jwmrc, which is a file here, and we'll go ahead and open it up. So this is the default JWMRC, and what we need is a small piece of script here that I have a copy of, and there is a right here this small script with a urxvt and no title as the option will do exactly what we want. So we'll get a copy of this and put it on the JWMRC, but we want to do it toward the end with a group command, so we'll just put it here and then paste it. So now we paste it, and let's save it. Now what we need to do is go ahead and force the computer to read the configuration again. So we'll give it a command of JWM restart, and then let's see what happens. You notice that the title bar disappears. So I think that we'll stop at this point.